And there came a day unlike any other, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars Comics Daily from Scorcher Hill, hosted by Brian Keown and Matt Wood. From Scorcher Hill, this is Star Wars Comics Daily. I'm Matt Wood.
And I'm Brian Keown.
Welcome to episode 163 of Star Wars Comics Daily, Heir to the Empire, or H to the E. Number 6, Heir to the Empire, number 6 was released April 30th, 1996.
The writer was Mark Barron. The artists are Olivier Vatine and Fred Blanchard. Colorist is Isabelle Robereau. Letterer is Ellie DeVille. And cover is Matthew Laufrey.
If I could go back in time, this is a weird tangent, Brian. You ready?
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
If I could go back in time and I could pick 1 year to go back in time, and either, I go back in time and I am in the body that I was in at that time period, but have all my memories, or just go back in time and live as a guy in his 30s during that time period, it'd be 1996.
Okay.
I thought 1996 was a good year.
So you could buy Heir to the Empire off the shelves?
Not necessarily for that. I certainly would, but it's right before 9/11. After 9/11, just everything goes downhill. But also, if you're a comic book fan, a lot of the crap of the 90s is starting to kind of die off, and this is like that lull where some really exciting stuff is about to crop up. So you can kind of get in on that. I don't know. I feel like 1996 is a good, safe year.
Okay.
And I could buy Heir to the Empire, number 6.
That's true.
I don't know why that crossed my brain, but
all right.
The music is really good.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. What year would you go back to, Brian?
I don't know. I would have to think about that quite a bit.
Do you have any problems?
I'm not just going to willy-nilly say I'm just going back to that year. That's crazy talk, dude.
But 96 was a good year.
I suppose.
Were you were in college?
No, I was out of college by then.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I don't know if I'd started working at textbook brokers yet. Probably not. So I was probably just working at the gas station and running a comic shop into the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, then...
that probably wasn't a good time for me. So
okay, all right. Yeah,
I would definitely not go back to 96.
I don't want to put you back in the gas station.
No. Yeah. It was either the gas station or the horrible comic shop that I destroyed. So
you destroyed a comic book shop?
I mean, I ran into the ground. I mean, it wasn't necessarily me. It was just,
You were there when it was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the late 90s were not a good time for comics.
That's true.
Yeah. That bubble had popped.
Yes. Yeah, it was definitely after, because it was a comic shop / sports card shop too. So
ouch. Yeah, double trouble there.
Yeah.
We still have a baseball card shop in Springdale.
Really? We don't have any Conway anymore, I don't think.
It's exclusively like trading card shop. And I'm just like, how do you
do they do game cards? Do they do games and stuff
I think it's just like baseball cards and sports cards.
I don't know.
Like, it blows my mind. I went in there one time, and I know we're really awful on something random here, but I went in there one time just out of like, well, I wonder if they do sell comics,
Yeah,
and
definitely could cross-pollinate there.
Sure. And they had a old box, and inside of it, and it was missing the back cover. But Brian, I crap you not, because we don't say curse words on here unless it's an accident. There was an Incredible Hulk 181 in that box.
Really?
Yeah. And it was missing the back cover.
Yeah, it's still worth a ton of money, though.
I knew that. And I tried to do the thing of like, when you like find gold, you're like, right. Oh, I guess I'll take this.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Hulk. I guess I'll buy this comic.
Yeah, exactly. And as soon as I brought it up there, the guy gets his phone out, and I'm like, ugh.
Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, okay, you're going to have to make me an offer. And I'm like, you're not gonna like it. So
What's cover price on this?
Right. I was at like $5. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that was the craziest thing that I've ever like, because you always hear about like just stumbling upon stuff like that. Sure. But yeah, it was there, and I look at it and I'm like, this is a real Hulk 181. And yeah, sure enough, he gets on his phone, and
for the people who don't know comic books, that's the first appearance of Wolverine.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So,
it's worth a ton of money.
Yeah, it's
even without the back cover.
Even without the back cover, yeah. You ever see those like auctions that people sell like a loose page from like Action #1?
Oh no, I guess not. Just like a page from the comic book.
Yeah.
I guess that would. Yeah, I mean, it's still super rare.
It's so crazy that like, oh hey, here's some garbage from the 30s. Yeah, people are like, I'll still give you 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess we need to talk about Heir to the Empire.
Yeah. What happened at Heir to the Empire?
Brian. Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. Luke, R2, and Mara come up with a plan on how they are going to enter Heir City. Mara hands Luke back his lightsaber, and Luke purposely infects himself with local vegetation to alter his appearance. Their plan involves Luke pretending to be a bounty hunter named Jade, and Mara and R2 pretending to be his prisoners. When they arrive, the Imperials buy it, but hold all three under arrest. They put Luke with another prisoner, who just happens to be Han Solo. I don't know how Han got there.
Yeah. Yeah, because you asked me when we started, I was like, I don't know. And like, yeah, I have no idea.
It's not covered in the last issue. He goes from talking to Card to apparently being a prisoner in the city. So, yeah. Reunited, they are able to contact Lando and Card's men. A firefight erupts and the Imperial garrison is taken down. Luke, Han, Lando, and the droids leave Merkur in the Falcon, towing Luke's X-Wing behind. Card plans an evacuation of the planet. The Falcon crew is heading towards Solus Van to reunite with the New Republic fleet and repair Luke's X-Wing. When they arrive, Thrawn has launched a surprise assault waiting for them with numerous TIE fighters and the mole miners that he has stolen from Lando. Mole miners, mole miners, mole miners.
Yes, they say mole miners so many times in this comic book.
Well, you know what they say, Brian. Mole miners, mole problems.
That's true.
With these, they will bore into the hulls of ships and steal them for the Empire. The mole miners are running off of remotes. Han and Lando are able to cause them to burrow all the way through the ships. This leaves the ships incapacitated, but out of Imperial control. After a rogue squadron shows up and takes out the TIE fighters, Thrawn retreats. As things calm down, Han is able to contact Leia, who tells him to return to Coruscant as soon as possible. Admiral Ackbar has been arrested.
What?
Han and Luke suspect that the Botham Borsk Fela is the agitator and will cause a civil war to break out among the New Republic.
And that's the end.
Yeah, this...
It feels like they got to this issue and like, how many issues we got left? One?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about the cover a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like the cover quite a bit, especially C-3PO because he looks a little dead-eyed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a haunting C-3PO.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's the angle, but that Stormtrooper looks odd.
Yeah, I noticed that too because I guess they obviously have that same shape as like the First Order Stormtroopers, but that helmet looks very First Order to me rather than a regular Stormtrooper.
Yeah. But I just wanted to mention that. I just thought that was kind of
sure.
But
yeah,
these were very much of the of the era. Trying to make it look like Dave Dorman and Drew Struzan as much as possible.
Yeah, and it's that same pose of Han pointing his gun.
Oh my gosh,
10,000 times.
it might be the most abused Han Solo image.
Yeah, I think he's actually used that on these covers.
I think so. I think you're right. Let me look at the past issues.
I might be thinking of Dave Dorman or somebody, but it seems like one of these had that same pose.
Surely not.
Yeah, number 2 has more or less the same pose. It's turned, it's angled a little more, but it's still the same. Like, it's definitely taken from the same picture.
All right, let me find it. Oh my gosh. Where is it?
It's number 2, so I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, we're both looking at the same collection.
Yeah,
So
at least, who is the artist here? Cover artist.
it's Matthew Laufrey, or however you say
It's the
that.
same guy?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, come on, dude. Find a different picture of Harrison Ford from Star Wars, at least. And like I said, it's turned a little bit different. It's he's more face forward in this one than he is in the other one. But it's still like, yeah, it's obviously the same picture we've seen 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Whatever.
It's a cool cover. It's just
I'm glad that we have gotten away from this era of like Star Wars book covers and comic book covers.
Yeah. Like you said, it's all Dave Dorman.
Yeah.
Streisand kind
you
of.
look at the novels from that time period, and it's all that. It's all like Admiral Ackbar's in here for half a page. Okay, well here's a picture of Admiral Ackbar. It's the one that everyone's always seen of him. Like, it's like his hands on his hips. Yeah, yeah. It's the thing is, I get it. You gotta sell the comic, but the interior comics, like Olivier Vatine, is so darn good. It's just like, just use his. Let him do the cover.
Yeah, it's definitely in the period where painted covers were definitely a big thing, and it was.
Oh yeah, Alex
sometimes,
Ross.
Sometimes very annoying because, like you said, the interior art is so different.
Yeah, and great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. It is what it is. Mara hands Luke back that lights, and also we should also say that not every issue cover of this series has been like that. We've seen the pictures of Mara like fighting the.
Yeah, that was definitely something original, and there's some.
Yeah.
Yeah, like looking at number 5, and it's Luke versus one of the Roxers or whatever it's called, and it's certainly fairly original.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's just get to him looking like Quasimodo. She smacks him in the head with some lavender.
Pretty much. And he has like an allergic reaction to it.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this, though, is once again, it's the names. It's like, oh, I'll just be Jade. Like, you can't come up with a better alias than her last name.
The reason why they do that is because Card has given the name Jade.
Oh, okay.
And
I know he said you should switch, so the genders are switched, so it's not so obvious. But
right, he didn't specify that Jade was a woman. He didn't specify talk about who the prisoner was. So, when 3PO gives like the message through R2. That's where that's coming from.
Okay,
right. It is not clearly explained here, though.
Yeah, and it's not like when Cade Skywalker says, I'm Luke Skywalker. Or when Tycho just gives him his name.
Yeah. What is it? I noticed that today it was Delia Blue uses the Jedi lady that had the leech demon inside of her.
Did she? I didn't even notice
that. That's it's like, come on.
Right. Well, at least that name isn't the most famous
well
name.
known. Yeah, exactly. Speeder bikes and scout troopers are never not cool.
That is true.
Yeah, they always look great.
Yeah.
I always find it funny when Star Wars locations just look like Northern California.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's just the ocean's on the other side, though. So
you're right.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain Han getting captured.
Yeah, he's just captured.
I mean, I guess he goes with a bunch of Card's men, and it's like, hey, pretend like I'm a prisoner.
Yeah, I was gonna say it definitely feels like that's his plan. He wanted to get, captured in quotation marks, but it definitely works pretty well. As a weird, I don't know.
Look how high up that speeder bike is.
That is really high. I would assume that they probably couldn't do that.
I don't think they can do that.
That would be a swoop bike, as we learned in.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
I love it when Luke trips R2 so they can talk to him for a second.
Right. What was that transmission? How should I know? Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's just, dude, he can't twist or anything. He's just gonna fall directly on his face, man. Come on, Luke.
Yeah, poor. And R2 wasn't ready for that.
No, I mean, I guess he could swivel his head away, but still.
Yeah. Cowboy Lando is underutilized, amazing Lando.
Yes, I love that outfit.
Who's the best cowboy in Star Wars? Is it Cad Bane and like the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna call Luke, not gonna call Han a cowboy, then yeah, probably.
Yeah, I guess that Han's more of a pirate.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I mean, so is Lando, obviously, but yeah. Cad Bane definitely is like, I am a cowboy. I've got the accent and the two guns and the hat and all that stuff.
I mean, both Cad Bane and the Mandalorian are based off of Clint Eastwood movie characters.
Sure.
but yeah. Yeah, I didn't understand like this like confrontation between the other guy and Lando.
Yeah.
It just seems so strange. And Lando gets shot by like a Star Destroyer at one point.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, I don't think he gets shot. I think it's just like it just shoots the location.
But yeah, as we've talked about, a bombardment from a Star Destroyer should blow up the whole city.
Exactly. Yeah, it should wipe everyone out. Boy.
Okay, so are we to the lightsaber fight?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so this is when I've been cool with the Issa Amari for the whole because it's like whatever, but this is earlier. Mara Jade's like, well, there's going to be Issa Amari around, so you can't use the Force. It's like it would be fine. Because I'm like, how would that affect his ability to use a lightsaber? It's just a sword fight. But in this, he's like, R2 shoots it and he catches it, which seems like it'd be really hard to do if you're not using the Force. And then he throws the lightsaber, and it's like, well, he's got to be using the Force. There's no way he could make it spin around.
Bounce off him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I. So yes, okay. The Issa Amari are dumb just in concept because they're just lizards that negate the Force.
Sure.
But like the reason why I have a big problem with that is because from a storytelling point of view, I just think it's lazy.
Sure.
Like it's just a clunky MacGuffin that we need something to shut the Force down. Okay, slugs.
Which they don't even really use that much in the story.
Yeah, exactly. So and here is a prime example of why that's never good when they do that is because it just becomes a convenience thing. Because either Luke is so strong with the Force that it doesn't affect him, or you just forget about it.
Right, because at this point they don't comment on it again. Yeah. He just, like I said, he just swings it. I mean, the sword is flying around like Darth Vader does, and even Luke does and stuff. Where you can, like in the video game, where you can throw your lightsaber and
at least Leia has it tied to a rope. But yes, it is crazy. And if I was R2, Mara, and Han Solo, I would be freaked out.
Yes, because he takes that arch down almost right on top of him.
Because also, he apparently doesn't have full control over the Force. Meaning, if he is throwing that and it is just bouncing all over the place, yikes. That is a lot of blood coming out of that Stormtrooper.
Yeah, we've talked about it. This is a very bloody Star Wars.
That is an anime level of, of blood.
Kill Bill type of move.
Exactly, yes. It's so good. Poor Terran Card. I guess we're going to hear about him later.
His name, especially since his name is Talon Card, not Terran.
Sorry. Dang it. Oh, well. He's not a real Star Wars character.
Ooh.
We just lost listeners on that one.
I disagree. He's very much a Star Wars character.
Yeah, he is. He's
hanging out with Hondo and Connor and those guys.
That's the thing, man. There are some characters from... I guess you have to be pretty... in this day and age, it's always more interesting to create a new character than just like revise like a old one.
Yeah, and as much as Talon Card is cool, he's just a baseline human.
Yeah, you
Hondo
can make
cool alien and stuff. Yeah,
right. You can make a different version of that. That's a little
Yeah.
bit more interesting. And then I think there's also that layer of like, well, it's a Timothy Zahn character, so
Right, yes,
the
I
only
don't
one
wanna
that should
touch
be able to
that.
bring that back is Timothy Zahn.
Sure.
Which I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. As a comic book
And-
fan, I can't agree with that. Like, if you're going to create a character for a wider universe,
Yeah, but we've talked about that. That happens in comics all the time now. I remember because
Sure.
Bendis had to, well, Sentry's a Paul Jenkins character. It's like
Yeah.
Paul Jenkins is like, no, he's a Marvel character. Use him.
Echo and
Yeah, all that stuff.
yeah.
But then the other option, I'm sure, is that whoever ends up with the credit of creating Hondo or whatever probably is going to get paid for that. I mean, when he's in Galaxy's Edge now, so
Yeah. I'm sure that whoever
So
wrote
there's-
is not getting any money off of Galaxy's Edge stuff.
I don't know. These days, I don't know.
I hope so. I mean, but all I'm thinking is at best you get a nice day pass to Disney World.
I mean, like I said, it's Disney and Lucasfilm, so I don't know how it works there. But I know, like on, say, Buffy, I know that if you created a character, if it comes back, you get a residual. It's probably not much, but something.
Sure.
So I don't know how it would work necessarily here. But
Yeah.
if nothing else, I'm sure it could be just, that's my character that I created. And, I don't get paid for it, but I mean, I still created Hondo. So,
I'm Hondo's
and-
daddy. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So
You
there's.
think Jim
there's something-
Cummings gets some money?
I don't know. I would think not, but who knows?
I mean, they are still using his voice, so
Oh, are they? Okay.
yeah. I assume like Disney has to own Jim Cummings at this point. But no, I assume that the animatronic Hondo at
Is it an animatronic? I thought it was a dude in a suit.
I think it's an animatronic. I don't
It
know.
might-
I've never been, and I will
haven't
never get to go. Even though
It
I
seems
think
like
Disney
it's-
World is open, I'm good.
It seems like it's going to be quite a while before we get a chance to do that again.
Man, wear your face mask. Because here's the thing: we're recording this like 3 weeks before it comes out. We know nothing's going to be different.
No.
If this is one of the things that we were wrong about, I'm happy.
Yes, please. Yes. For some reason, everybody did actually wear their masks in the 3 weeks it's all gone. That would be amazing, but there's no way that's happening.
Yeah. It's getting better. Well, no, I've seen more people wear face masks. That's all I'm
Sure.
saying. Yeah, nothing. Nothing is
Yeah,
happening.
it's definitely not getting better, but
Yeah. See, it's talking about something that's from Legends that has shown up in canon, a spaceship towing another spaceship. We've seen that in Rise of Skywalker.
yeah.
That's all I got.
On that same page when they're flying away, it's funny because it feels like suddenly they realized, oh yeah, we never told you what this name of this planet is, because Luke is talking to Han or vice versa. You can't see what the poor bubbles
Yeah.
are. They're like, hey, I never even found out what the name of this planet is. Oh, it's Merker. Like, well, that seems weird. It feels like it's like the writer's just like, oh yeah, I guess we should tell them what planet it is finally.
Exactly. Yeah. It's such a silly, like, why does that matter? That doesn't.
Because it feels like in the next page they're like, the Imperials are talking about Merker, and when somebody was like, dude, we don't even know what is Merker. Oh yeah, we gotta go back and have Luke say Merker so we know what planet they're talking about.
I don't know, but then sometimes in this comic book, I don't think that bothers them that much because there's plenty
Sure.
of things that they leave unexplained.
Sure.
Like mole miners.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, the way they presented it, it was like, oh, I guess I just forgot when they talked about mole miners in an earlier issue, but I guess not. I don't know, because they're like, oh yeah, they're Lando's mole miners. You know those.
Yeah.
They're cone-like things that are floating around in space. You know those
That are
things.
apparently remote control, and if they dig all the way through your ship, that's not a bad thing. Yeah.
I mean, I will say that just from the name mole miner, I got kind of what they were. I kind of
Yeah.
I guess some sort of mining, thing that moles to the ground, I guess. But
And boy, what a bad sign for old Grand Admiral Thrawn. If you're trying to steal junky old rebellion ships, like if you're that desperate,
yeah, well, I mean,
guess
I
they
assume,
are.
yeah, I mean, I assume they're in the same position that the rebels were in, around Empire Strikes Back. They're not making new ships; they can't, so they got to steal them.
Excuse me. I don't necessarily care for space troopers either.
I was just going to say though, but when we saw him in X-wing Rogue Squadron,
Hmm.
they were like, "We need to get that because it's cool, and he does shoot a lightsaber, or shoot not a lightsaber, shoots lasers out of him." So there was some sort of that might do something, although it immediately gets blasted by an
I
X-wing.
know,
It's
yeah.
dude's definitely dead.
I just don't feel like I would much rather be in a TIE fighter than in
Yes.
just that suit.
Fred just floating around in space with a gun.
I mean, I have seen people survive on multiple occasions. One this week, TIE fighter crashes.
Sure.
I don't think I can see anyone surviving.
I mean, you're going to be a much smaller target, so it's going to have to be a really good X-wing pilot to hit you, probably. But
Yeah.
yeah, when you get hit, you're done.
I guess it's better than being inside that mole miner, which he is in.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand how so they don't want the mole miner to like get to the hull of the ship or get to like the control panel of the ship. So instead they're like, just have it burrow all the way through.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's better than like I said, taking out the controls and stuff. But the ship, survives and
Better for it to be broken and crappy and useless than in the hands of the Empire, I guess.
for sure.
But I don't know how they got control over the.
Well, but for somehow they're Lando's, and so Lando, I think, has some kind of ability to take over.
So he has the app in his phone or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because Han says, they're running on a radio remote, which seems like radios, okay, but yeah, so I think they're able to at least somehow, like you said, change what they were going to do, so they just burned the ships rather than. But yeah, radios.
Radios. What? Yeah. Oh boy, Star Wars is silly sometimes.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got a call from Leia. Ackbar's in prison.
Yeah, this seemed really weird to me, but like I said, I guess they knew that they were going to do a trilogy, so they're just setting up the next book.
Yeah, it's just that's a weird cliffhanger though. It's a character that you barely gave any attention to.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, because there was one scene with Ackbar, and you told me about how that Bothan was kind of didn't like him. I mean, I don't think that was even in the comic book.
It barely is. Yeah. I this goes back to the problem of the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy know how to do cliffhangers where you allow space in between your movies. You don't want to do a cliffhanger where it's like we immediately have to go into the next thing.
But this is different because it's a novel. That definitely is leading from one bit to the only reason it ended because it's like, well, it's however many pages, so that's how long a novel is.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, because these are definitely meant to be read as one whole thing.
I think, but I don't know about that.
I feel
like this trilogy was always kind of advertised and always viewed as like this is the next three. This is like the unofficial trilogy.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying with the movies, but novels are different. Like the Alphabet Squadron books just came out, and I think there's the second one. There's space in between them, but I mean, I don't think anybody's expecting you not to read the second one if you like the first one, kind of a deal.
Yeah. I don't know. I always like if you're gonna wrap up a story, wrap up a story.
Sure. No, I agree.
Yeah. And people always point to like Han being frozen in carbonite as like, well, that's an immediate cliffhanger, and I'm like, well, they didn't get to him for like a year or so, so.
Yeah. There's
it wasn't that immediate.
Right.
Like you didn't see Luke and Lando and Leia all in the Falcon. Like let's go to Tatooine.
Right.
You see like Han and Orlando and Chewie going to Tatooine, and honestly, they probably shouldn't have done that. You know?
They had to have plenty of time to make up that great plan that they had to get Han out.
Oh gosh, yeah. That takes about a year to explain.
Right.
Once again, I think we're all on the same page here. That's one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars.
Oh, I literally think the Jabba, the first part of Return of the Jedi, is as the best that Star Wars ever was.
Yes, but as a ridiculous plan that makes no sense whatsoever.
Sure.
But yeah. All right, that's all I got for this issue.
Yep.
That's it. That's it for Heir to the Empire. I like Heir to the Empire quite a bit. I especially love the art.
Hmm.
Thrawn's a fascinating character. You know, there are some things where they had to pace it quite differently from the book. So like
Yeah,
you
of
got all the
course.
Leia stuff in like one big block.
Yeah.
You know, you don't even uh, what's his name? The Dark Jedi.
Sit
Um,
both, or however you say his name.
yeah, he's just dropped. You know, halfway
Yeah.
through the book. You know, that's not ideal, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to the next part, but I
Sure.
guess we won't be doing it for a little while.
Yeah, I thought I originally had it written out like that, but I guess I didn't. So it's all right.
It's all good. I mean, it'd be nice to take a break from it.
Yeah.
Get back to some droids.
All right, that's going to wrap this episode up. Make sure you join us tomorrow as we look at Star Wars Legacy number 40, the end of the Tatooine storyline.
Woohoo!
From Star Wars Comics Daily, I'm Matt Wood.
And I'm Brian Keown.
And until tomorrow, may the Force be with you.